Did you not find that a bit awkward when you have to do them scenarios and they're sitting you both next to each other?
Yeah, it's a little bit
like,
awkward,
why?
to be honest. I don't know, it's like it's just a little bit awkward.
I don't care what happened before, I just new fight, a new challenge.
Let me ask you this, when you are not on camera, do you shake hands and smile?
Teofimo Lopez didn't hold back, taking shots at Shakur Stevenson for what he called a weak matchup. The backlash came after it was announced that Stevenson's WBC lightweight title defense would now be against Josh Padley, a part-time electrician. Originally, Stevenson was set to face Floyd Schofield Jr. on the Beterbiev versus Bivol undercard.
In this fight, in comparison to the first fight?
I think it will be more action, more active.
Lopez didn't hold back, accusing Stevenson of avoiding real challenges to protect his belt. This guy always takes the easy way out, Lopez reportedly said. However, some fans see it differently, arguing it's just a last-minute replacement, not a deliberate choice, especially with fight night just hours away. What do you think?
Do you believe you have it in your power to force a stoppage in this fight? Obviously, Artur Beterbiev, when he decided to trade with you, a lot of people said you got the better of him in the mixture.
Josh Padley, a former Central Area champion, has never faced competition anywhere near Shakur Stevenson's level. But after his September win over Mark Chamberlain at Wembley Stadium, he climbed to number 12 in the WBC rankings. Despite his lack of elite experience, WBC President Mauricio Suleiman confirmed his eligibility for a world title shot. Never one to stay silent, Teofimo Lopez slammed Stevenson's fight choice. This guy talks big.
Rangers. Do you think we're going to see that? It's going to be more of a war this time out?
Hey, why not? Maybe you will see it. Depends on the situation.
The situation took a bizarre turn when Floyd Schofield Sr. made a shocking claim. His son had been poisoned before the fight was canceled. Someone tried to kill him, but Floyd will recover, he insisted. Though he later clarified that Stevenson's team wasn't involved, the statement only fueled more controversy. Teofimo Lopez wasn't convinced. Poisoned or not.
Do you believe you won that fight?
I didn't watch this fight in that case that I was counting the punches or rounds.
Josh Padley's journey to this moment feels like a true boxing Cinderella story. A part-time electrician with no major fight experience, he's now staring down the chance of a lifetime. If it were me, I'd already be in the gym working, Padley said. If I'm close to fighting weight, I'm ready. I respect him, but I'd do the same. Despite his dreams of boxing full-time, financial struggles have kept him working outside the ring. Even after his win over Mark Chamberlain, he was back at his day job weeks later. It all depends on the fights and offers I get, he admitted.
I don't care. I don't want to even counting,
But why?
Okay, why? Okay, I will find that I want more rounds, like 7-5.
Padley remains grounded about his future, knowing that bigger fights could help him return to full-time training. If the right offers come, I might take another camp off with my sponsor's help. But after my holiday, it's back to work, tools in hand on Monday. I have to be ready if things don't go as planned. Lopez, unimpressed, mocked Stevenson for facing such an opponent. What is this, a title defense or a charity event? He scoffed. Stevenson's fans should be embarrassed. It's like watching a lion take on a house cat.
This and that, and I will be relaxed. I don't want to be relaxed to find somebody else's mistake in this fight. No, it was only my mistake.
Despite the backlash, Josh Padley sees this fight as a once-in-a-lifetime shot. His blue-collar work ethic has earned him respect in local boxing circles, and he's bringing that same grit into the ring against Shakur Stevenson. Still, many insiders doubt his chances against one of the division's most technical fighters. With Stevenson's camp staying silent on the late opponent change, Teofimo Lopez isn't letting up. I'm fighting the best, taking real risks. Meanwhile, Shakur is treating this like a sparring session. It's bad for boxing. Fans deserve better.
In fact, you are one of a few.
Some of them, they have, I don't know what they have in their mindset, but this thoughts help.
Padley's supporters are fully embracing the underdog narrative, with comparisons to the Rocky movies already circulating. A part-time electrician getting a world title shot is the kind of story that captures imaginations, but whether he can turn it into ring magic remains to be seen. One thing's certain, motivation won't be an issue when he faces Stevenson. Meanwhile, Schofield Jr. continues to recover, but his father's dramatic accusations are still fueling speculation. Whether he'll get another shot at Stevenson is unclear, but Teofimo Lopez doubts it. He's scared, plain and simple, Lopez said. Padley's a nice story.
Every time I speak to you, you've always talked about your legacy in boxing. Forget money, everything. You've been like, I'm creating history.
As Shakur Stevenson prepares to step into the ring, the pressure is mounting. Not just from his opponent, but from Teofimo Lopez and the boxing world. Lopez's criticism may sting, but in the end, the only response that matters will come inside the ropes. For Josh Padley, this is a once-in-a-lifetime shot to shock the world. For Stevenson, it's a chance to silence doubters and prove his title reign is legit, regardless of what Lopez says. Recently, Lopez didn't hold back, ripping into Stevenson's shocking decision to step away from boxing. He claimed Shakur wasn't retiring for personal reasons, just to avoid a pay cut. According to Lopez,
Final one, this rematch, main event, Beterbiev Bivol, repeat or revenge?
Revenge. I think all you had to do was just finish a little bit strong.
F this, I'm the best, and I'm going to retire with it, Teofimo Lopez told Fight Hub TV, a statement that sent shockwaves through the boxing world. If true, it implies Shakur Stevenson wasn't just protecting his undefeated record, he was protecting his paycheck. While Top Rank hasn't confirmed any forced pay cut, the speculation isn't baseless. Stevenson's fight against Edwin de Los Santos was a box office disaster, with poor ticket sales at T-Mobile Arena and boos echoing throughout the crowd. Fans were frustrated with Stevenson's defensive approach, expecting more from
He did really good in the fight, but the last 2 to 3 rounds, he kind of let his foot off the gas, and I think he know that.
Shakur, listen, I appreciate your time. Enjoy it.
Bob Arum, head of Top Rank, revealed that the WBC even contacted Shakur Stevenson to ask if he was retiring, warning that if he did, his lightweight title would be stripped. Stevenson reassured them he wasn't stepping away, but the fact that the WBC even raised the question raises eyebrows. Why would they ask unless whispers of retirement were circulating behind the scenes? Teofimo Lopez didn't stop there. He stressed that being elite isn't just about protecting an undefeated record. It's about taking risks and proving yourself. They can only build us up for so long, Lopez said, suggesting Stevenson was leaning more on his reputation than performances. You've got to take the cuts. This is what it's all about.
The final comment he made in the interview was he left you a message in the interview and he said, Shakur Stevenson, I'm going to break something this weekend.
Yeah, they told me they were going to break my...
It's hard to argue with Teofimo Lopez on this one. As technically brilliant as Shakur Stevenson is, he's often criticized for playing it too safe. Lopez insisted that if Stevenson had accepted the rumored pay cut, he could have rebuilt his reputation by facing dangerous, high-stakes opponents, the kind fans actually want to see. Take Raymond Martala, for example, a fighter who would push Stevenson to his absolute limits. But taking on someone like Martala means ditching his defensive-first style and stepping into the kind of risk-filled fights fans crave. It would force Stevenson to let his hands fly, break out of his comfort.
Ribs, so don't break my ribs, sir.
Yeah.
Teofimo Lopez weighed in on the fine line between confidence and cockiness, a line he believes Shakur Stevenson is dangerously walking. He pointed to Keyshawn Davis, aka the businessman, as a prime example. Confidence or cockiness? Lopez questioned, suggesting the boxing world will soon see if Davis is the real deal or just another overhyped fighter. The message was clear. If Stevenson doesn't prove himself soon, he risks being labeled more hype than substance.
That's just his opinion.
Shakur, in terms of yourself this weekend, you seem as if you're really in the zone. I've spoken to you in a lot of your fight weeks.
Teofimo Lopez's criticism of Shakur Stevenson isn't just about his recent choices. It's a bigger statement on boxing's current landscape. Lopez believes too many fighters are more concerned with protecting their brand than taking the risks that define true champions. To him, Stevenson's rumored pay cut refusal is just another example of that growing trend. What makes this debate even more intense? The fan divide. Stevenson's supporters argue he's one of the sport's most technically gifted fighters, a champion who has already proven himself by capturing titles in...
You said he was lucky, Dmitry, to not get knocked out. Can you just elaborate on that?
I said maybe he's lucky. Maybe he's lucky.
Okay. Yeah.
To Shakur Stevenson's supporters, Teofimo Lopez's comments are just sour grapes, a desperate attempt to stay relevant by attacking a rival. But others believe Lopez is simply saying what many already think. Stevenson hasn't lived up to his full potential and is avoiding the fights that would define his legacy. So far, Stevenson hasn't responded publicly. Whether he fires back remains to be seen, but one thing's clear, this saga is far from over. If Stevenson returns, or if retirement was never the plan, his next move will be under heavy scrutiny. Fans and critics alike will be watching to see if he can silence the boos, prove Lopez wrong.
I mean, what I can say.
I spoke to him today. He said that, I asked him about your power, everyone you've gone in with.
But it's not just Teofimo Lopez throwing shots. Shakur Stevenson fired back on social media after Lopez's controversial title defense against Jermaine Ortiz in Las Vegas. While the judges awarded Lopez the win, many fans and Stevenson himself weren't convinced. One judge's wide scorecard sparked outrage, with fans and analysts flooding social media to question the decision. Stevenson made it clear he believes Lopez's victory had less to do with skill and more with business. In his eyes, Lopez is protected because he's a marketable fighter, and boxing's power players don't want to damage his brand.
We've seen it on the television and ringside. You have devastating power. I said, how? It's not real life.
The tension didn't stop there. Shakur Stevenson also blasted Teofimo Lopez's post-fight meltdown, especially his reaction to the booing crowd. Rather than showing humility or admitting he could have performed better, Lopez
punches to
break this wall. I was throwing it to target, because with guys like him, to try.
Raymond Ford, a rising star in boxing, jumped into the debate, backing Shakur Stevenson on social media. He can't box movers, Ford tweeted, adding more fire to the claims about Teofimo Lopez's weaknesses. As the conversation heats up, it's clear Lopez has a target on his back. Not just from fans and critics, but...
And I'm honest with you, the only thing that the Canelo fight brings to me is money. It's not all about money. I want the respect from the fans. I know a fight.
Me and Shakur sparred before 3 rounds, Teofimo Lopez recalled. He described it as a strategic session where both fighters studied each other rather than going all out. Lopez focused on Stevenson's jab, analyzing how it worked as both an offensive weapon and a defensive shield. It was just light work, me figuring out his jab, Lopez explained. But what he said next turned heads. Does he have a good jab? But
now I'm interested in beating Bivol. That's what I'm more interested in. I'm interested in going up there, winning all the titles, and winning the respect from the people.
Did you score Beterbiev, Bivol?
Teofimo Lopez recently revisited the topic on it is what it is with Cameron and Mays, explaining why he has no interest in fighting Shakur Stevenson. Known for his blunt honesty, Lopez laid out his reasoning citing respect, past experiences, and his views on the 135 pounds division. He emphasized that his respect for Shakur's manager, Jay Prince, plays a big role. To be real, I ain't trying to give the man his first loss, Lopez admitted, implying he'd rather let someone else do it. While most fighters jump at the chance to take an undefeated rival's zero, Lopez simply doesn't see it.
Great boxer, and he has punching power. And then Beterbiev, I think he's a little bit older. I think his body's breaking down a little bit. He works really hard. I don't.
Lopez also revisited a moment from the 2015 National Golden Gloves, recalling Shakur Stevenson's emotional reaction after losing to Ruben Villa. According to Lopez, Stevenson's frustration spiraled into something far more serious. He lost it, man. He wanted to go up to the rooftop of the hotel and jump off, Lopez said. His concerns seemed genuine, suggesting that Stevenson's breakdown left a lasting impression. Lopez also mentioned Stevenson's tears.
Start to break down more, so I'm leaning a little bit more towards you.
Lopez's confidence as a dominant force at 140 pounds heavily influences his choice of opponents. Nobody can beat me. Nobody, he declared, emphasizing his status as the division's lineal world champion. Speaking with unshakable belief, Lopez made it clear he's already proven himself. Rather than focusing on Shakur Stevenson, Lopez has his sights set on Gervonta Tank, Davis, or Terrence Bud Crawford. That's why I was thinking, I need a competitor, he explained.
Beterbiev.
What about Beterbiev? What about
Beterbiev is 40, I think.
Okay.
He's 40, yeah.
He's gonna win that fight. Easy. He might stop. Easy.
Never showed up, Lopez said, clearly frustrated. He implied that Haney wasn't as eager to make the fight happen. Lopez also noted how quickly Haney secured a fight with George Kambosos after his own controversial loss. The moment they gave me my first defeat, who jumped on Kambosos right away. Devin Haney, what do you think? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.
I'm making a bet.
Easy, I don't know.
I don't think easy. I do have him beaten.
If you can't land, man, that is a block.
Lopez's remarks add another layer of intrigue to this growing rivalry. While Stevenson has taken shots at Lopez's performances, Lopez seems just as eager to expose Stevenson's weaknesses. But does his analysis hold weight, or is it just mind games? After all, Stevenson's defensive skills and ring IQ have earned widespread praise. Whether he's truly afraid to get hit or simply a master at avoiding unnecessary...
And then again, now the jab doesn't come, but then you shoot, and then you fall short with your offense because the guy steps back.
Yeah.
You know? And then you try to... Then